Stay tuned for The Voice of Truth with Jedediah Dwyer.
Thank you for joining us on The Voice of Truth Radio. All this month, I'll be featuring business owners. If you own a business, a mompreneur, a dadpreneur, if there's anything like that, I would like to hear from you. But today we have Destiny Schuenke on the line, founder, creator of Easter Eggsters, and we have a few questions for her, and hopefully it will be a blessing to you if you're a current business owner, an aspiring business owner. We hope to be a blessing to you today. So, Destiny, how did you start? How did you start the business? How did you come up with the idea?
Well, first of all, my product, as you said, it's called Easter Eggsters and Easter Tradition. So it started off with our family has always been a huge fan of Elf on the Shelf. And one day, one of my little ones asked, "Mom, who helps the Easter Bunny?" And I told her, I was like, you know what? I have no idea. So, like with everything we don't know, we Googled it and asked who helps the Easter Bunny. And we couldn't find out, and my girls were wanting to adopt one of the Easter Bunny's helpers to come to our house. And so we looked and researched, and we couldn't find any of the Easter Bunny's helpers. But what we did find were a lot of other parents that were actually looking for Easter Bunny's helpers as well. Some people even went to the extent of putting Easter Bunny ears on their Elf on the Shelves out of desperation because they wanted somebody to come and, you know, to make fun, magical moments and memories, and maybe even to help the kids to be good. Because, to be honest, my kids, the elf really does help my girls to be good, and I know a lot of people say, you know, belt on the shelf, and you need to learn to discipline your kids. But I am all about a little help from the Easter Bunny's helpers or the little elves. So it started with researching and finding no Easter Bunny's helpers, you know, and finding parents that were looking for the same thing. And so I thought that day, I really wish that somebody would come out with something because my girls really want this, and a lot of other people do too. And then one day when I was picking my girls up from school, I thought to myself, you know what, why don't I be that somebody that, you know, helps the Easter Bunny out with writing a book and bringing all of his helpers, you know, to people that are wanting them. You know, and I've always taught my girls, you know, you can do anything you want, and so can I.
Right.
And I would like to be an inspiration, somebody for my girls to look up to. So right there while I was sitting in the pickup line at school, I started writing, and I was really into it and focused, and all of a sudden I hear a horn blazing behind me because I had held up the school pickup line, and my girls were standing there all embarrassed because I'd held up the line. But that day I started, I got to writing. It was only a few weeks later that I had finished writing the book, and I hadn't told my girls that I was helping the Easter Bunny on this huge project. One night when my girls were asleep, he had left a couple of Easter eggs, one with some treats, one that had a note in it that was from the Easter Bunny telling the girls and asking me if I would help him on a huge project to announce to the world who his helpers were. And I'll tell you what, it was bigger than Christmas morning when my girls found out that the Easter Bunny was asking me, first of all, that he was going to send his helpers to homes, and then secondly, that he thought so much of me, and I was going to be in with the Easter Bunny, and I was going to help him on this project. So my little ones have been my biggest cheerleaders in doing this project. There's been so many things that I've had to research. You know, I didn't know the first thing about writing a book. I had no idea, so it was definitely a very scary thing to start, but that it took that one moment to start, and I ran with it. My girls' excitement, my husband has also been very supportive. As I was writing, I was also doing the illustrations, so it helped me to visualize. Of course, I got everything approved by the Easter Bunny,
Right.
You know, and he was sending me notes, telling me what to put in his book. And then I got it done. I got online, and I found an illustrator, and I went through lots of them, and there was one that really stuck out, and the Easter Bunny, again, approved of Sydney Kruger, and she helped me. We all that part done, and then I was like, okay. I did all the research I could on the ladies that wrote Elf on the Shelf. They're the ones that had inspired this in the first place, and I really thank them for helping Santa, with Elf on the Shelf. And so I did research on news articles and blogs from interviews that they'd given to really try and figure out what did they do. And I'd read that they went to a bunch of publishers, and all these publishers kept telling them no. One even told them, your book needs to go in a trash bin. It's not worth anything. But their desire and their passion went above that, and they thought, we can do this. We don't need them. So they started their own publishing company, and now look at them. So I thought, you know what, if these women in Georgia can do this, so can I. So I bypassed the whole, going to publishers, and I actually started my own publishing company. My husband's an attorney, so he did what was necessary for me to start up a publishing company. So I got my publishing company started, and then I worked with 3 companies to get this product all put together. And one was, my book printer. Another one was for my packaging. The other, their job was to collect all these little wild animals that have been specially trained. Because, see, the Easter Eggsters, they're little animals that live in the woods. They're little raccoons, skunks, squirrels, and bunnies. And so the Easter Bunny has tryouts every year, and only the specially trained ones and the ones that make the tryouts can become Easter Eggsters. So I had one company that had the job of collecting all these little wild animals that he had turned into toys so that, some kids get afraid of little wild animals running in their houses, and I don't think parents would appreciate it. So I had them turned into toys. Then I had a finished product, and this sounds very simple because I'm kind of summarizing it.
Right.
But through all this, it was so hard, My advice is that if you think it is a small deal, you need to treat everything like it's a big deal. You need to research every tiny detail like crazy, because no part of your project is small.
Right.
Your packaging isn't small. Your artwork isn't small. You need to find out what the legalities are, what's required depending on your product. If it's makeup, I'm sure there's safety requirements. Toys, there's safety requirements. You have to research everything. That's what I advise for that, is to research everything. Nothing is too small.
Right. And, every big accomplishment in life starts with just a little idea, just one step. Take a little step. Little steps lead to big steps, and a little door leads to a much more bigger door being open to you. So never despise the small beginnings. I think the Bible says that. So that's very, very important. Hopefully someone can get that in their mind and, okay, I will not despise my small beginnings.
Yes, I agree with that. I was blessed, and when I was younger, I had an aunt who is not with us any longer, but she was my angel through it all, and I believe God had her here on earth to do a lot of things, but one thing that, she's still here with me and still helps me through all this. When I was younger and growing up, she had always made me feel like I could do absolutely anything. And if you have those people in your life, it is a blessing that will continue, whether they're here on this earth or they're in heaven. It stays with people. And so I think that we need to remember that when we're around anybody, raising kids, talking to others, we should always do it and talk to people and be an inspiration and make people feel like, and know that it's not just feel it. Know that absolutely anybody can do anything if you want to.
Yes.
You can.
Yes.
And don't quit. It'll get hard, absolutely, but you have to, feed off of those people that love you. And it's not necessarily love you, but
encourage
that believe
you
in what you're doing. And not stopping. You'll have days where you're like, okay, I can't do this today. And then you got to, pray. You need to collect your thoughts and then get back in it and go for it.
So where can your product be purchased?
My first year, I started out doing my book readings. I was in a local coffee shop, I was blessed and was in our local Curlin's Hallmark. They did great. My second year, I was in the Curlin's Hallmarks. They're kind of in our area. And then I was in the Farm and Home Supplies in our area. And they were in our local Walmarts. For people that are not, in my area, they can always get them on Walmart.com. I get a lot of Easter eggsters that are adopted on Walmart.com. So it works out great. I don't have them in stores, nationwide yet because I am a small business.
Right.
And I have to start small. And I'm growing. This is just my, this coming Easter will be my third year out. So, and I have grown so much, and I can't believe I'm where I'm at. It's crazy.
Right.
But Walmart.com is where people can get them.
Yeah, and the name is Easter Eggsters, Eggsters. So you can search for that on Walmart. So how do you balance being a mom, a wife, and a business owner?
Oh, my goodness. I'll tell you, before I even started the Eggsters, I was wondering, how can I balance being a mom? It's with 3 girls. Oh, my goodness, it's so hard. And on a daily basis, I homeschool 2 of our 3 daughters. It's a struggle. But then you add on top of that a business, and it's through the roof. And you have to, first of all, you to be in this, you have to be very passionate and believe in it. If it's not something that you're passionate about and love it, I don't suggest it.
Right.
You have to have that burning desire.
Mm-hmm.
But I do suggest that there are days where I feel really bad. And, when you're a small business, it can easily consume your life and take over because there is so much research that needs to be done. There's so much work that needs to be done. And when you're starting out, it's just you a lot of times, or just, a few people. So it's a lot on your shoulders. But you do need to step back and say, no, I'm going to, do this with my little ones. We're going to go skating tonight.
Right.
I'm not going to, work at this time. Got to set those boundaries. Otherwise, both your business and your home life will struggle. So it varies really day by day in knowing when you need to step back and say, no, your business is important, but we've got to have that healthy home life.
Right. I'm also a business owner. I think for me in the beginning, it was so much of a struggle balancing things out. I mean, when I started my business, oh my God, the house would be in such a huge mess.
Oh, yeah.
And then my husband was complaining, like, okay, you need to get yourself together. But, along the way, I learned, family business is great and, you want to make money and stuff, but having that family time is more important. So
You're right.
I have a specific hours that I work and then a specific hours that, okay, this is time for my family, for my kids. I try to, clean up and do all kinds of things. So being balanced is key and being disciplined is key. And time management is very crucial.
It sounds like you're more together than I am.
No, I'm not.
You're like, you have to have a schedule, and I was like, oh, you're better at that than I am. You are right. We need to try and figure out a schedule, and we're all different, but you certainly have to create those boundaries and know, like, okay, tonight I'm going to have a date night with my husband, or tonight we're going to sit down as a family and have dinner, because, unfortunately, everybody's so busy these days that we don't take time. And we have to. We have to take that time and have those moments.
How did you get into Walmart? For those that don't know, Destiny is a good friend of mine, and she's a mentor of mine also. She helped me go through the steps of getting into Walmart. So I thank God for her. So how if someone is listening, like, okay, I want to get my product into Walmart, how would you even advise them?
Well, Walmart has been great to work with. It's very complicated, and I'm always learning. There's so much to learn. But I started off with applying on Walmart,
right,
and it took a little bit of time, and then they accepted me. Then once I went through that vendor process and filled out all the papers, one of the things that you have to do is find people like you reached out to me, Favor,
right,
and we have to find people that are in the business that have something similar or are in a store that we, would like to be in, and ask all your questions.
Right.
I was blessed with Neil Hoffman. He was on Shark Tank, and he'd actually reached out to me through Facebook. He'd heard about my product, and he has Minch on a Bench, which is the Jewish form, of Elf on the Shelf, and he has been a great mentor. And then Juan Hernandez, he has the product Ghoul on a Stool, which is the Halloween version. He also reached out to me. These guys have been huge blessings to me that have answered my questions. And then Lee Olig in Chicago that has Lily Pie pillows, he's been in Walmart. And so after I got accepted on Walmart, Lee Olig had told me that I can, approach my local Walmarts and talk to their store managers to see if they would be interested in carrying my product. And so I did that. I just went to a couple Walmarts. They graciously accepted, and they just flew off the shelf.
Right.
So I think they're pretty happy. So I'm going to be in more Walmarts this next year, probably just going to grow slow.
Right.
But they are on Walmart.com year-round, actually.
Right. Yeah, and it's so key, finding someone you can reach out to and forming a relationship, because one thing I totally dislike is when someone reaches out to me and okay, how do I need help, yada, 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 and then I help you, but then I don't hear from you ever again, and then you're coming back again and okay, can you help me again? So try to form relationships. It's, networking, staying in touch with your mentors, or especially those that you would like to be like or aspire to be like.
Yes, I agree with that. Your time is precious, and so you need to spend your time and your energy with people that appreciate those friendships and, will help you, and you help them in return when, you need them, instead of them taking advantage, if you will.
Right.
Because you have to be so careful in this business. You have to be careful what you share. You have to be careful who you talk to even.
Right.
Even, at times when you really need somebody to talk to, because you're learning so much and you want to talk to people, but you do need to be careful who you talk to.
Right. It's people that you can trust, basically. Find people around you that you can trust and share information with is key. And please never give out your exact, if you have something that you make, not actually service, but if you probably make a cake or whatever, please never give out your recipe to someone.
Oh, no. Don't do that. I'm just saying, when I say be careful.
Right.
Unfortunately, that's been a couple of my problems in this, and everybody's going to have, your problems. It's impossible to go into business and not have any mistakes or not have any problems. I mean, they're going to come. Just know they're coming, and don't quit because of it.
Right.
Grow from it. But one of mine, I had hired somebody to help me, and instead of helping me, he just took my money and didn't help me at all. So when you're desperate for help, you need to really research and interview people, and a lot of people will help you for free.
Yeah.
As far as mentoring.
Right. And there's so many free resources out there. You have SBA, a Small Business Administration. If you contact your local, your city, I know Hampton and Newport News and Norfolk, they have the business offices, and the business office in your city, they have a free business mentor, a free business person that would actually give you steps on how to either get a business license, to register your name with the state, pay your fees. They would actually, guide you in that, and it's for free. Most business licenses fees, it costs around $50 to $100. It's not that much. There are free resources out there. Contact your local city or find a mentor, reach out to people that can help you. Destiny, how do you integrate being a business owner as a Christian, as someone that believes in God?
Well, I think that my advantage is that I have Him to lean on. I have God to lean on. I have prayer. I don't think I could have gotten here without, but I know I couldn't have, because there's been moments where I've felt completely broken and then prayed, and then God would send somebody to me to say something or maybe something happens that he knew that I needed to have happen just at the right time.
Right.
I mean, I believe everything has happened because he has willed it, and I certainly don't think that I could have made it through some of my rough moments without having him to lean on. I mean, I'm glad to have my loved ones, and he provided my loved ones to do and say those things as well. But he certainly has been my person that I can pray to and feel better about things that are going on, and know that he has a plan, and that I don't need to worry.
Right.
And I do know that being a Christian, I grew up in a very traditional small town of only 200 people. I was a farmer's daughter. Going out into the business world, for me, as a little small-town farm girl, it's been hard, because I've always been really trusting and forgiving, but this business, you have to be very careful, because, unfortunately, there are people that I know Christians make, we all make mistakes, but you just have to be careful, because that's my problem is I'm too trusting. I'm definitely getting really good at it now, because I've been through some problems in this in just a short time, knowing that you have got to watch what you say, who you trust, what you do. Forgive, move on, but be careful.
Right. And what differentiates you from a regular business owner is having God to lean on, having God to trust in, having Him to comfort you. And relying and trusting in His word and in His promises. So if you're listening and, you're not sure that you can even be a business owner, it's possible to be a business owner and serve God. Most times we focus on serving in the church and helping out in the church and in ministries, which is great. But we need more people in the marketplace. We need more people in businesses. We need more people. We need more Christian business owners who are going to be successful, who are going to make it and using their funds to be a blessing to others also. So I would encourage
I love hearing this.
Yes.
I love everything you're saying.
Yes, I would encourage everyone listening that wants to be a business owner. Yes, you can make it. Yes,
absolutely.
You can be successful, even if it's in the first year you're not going to make $1 million. If you do, that would be so great. But just keep pushing, keep doing, keep trying. If you fall, if you make bad mistakes, stand up and keep going. I'm like, oh my God, why can't we have more business owners who love God, who serve God, who, can use the money and be a blessing to others and others they need, and, and reach out to those for Christ. We need more. And, and I really encourage people to start a business if you want to, and it's going to be okay. Thank you so much, Destiny. I'm not even sure how we even connected with Destiny.
I don't either.
I can't remember.
Well, it was God,
I
first
know.
of all.
Yeah.
Okay. But I don't remember either.
Yeah, because the funny thing is, I think we've been connected for like a year and a half now. But the funny thing is, I was, my business, I was just praying to God. I'm like, God, please connect me with business.
Really?
Yeah. I was praying. I said, God, connect me with business owners that love you, that I could be friends with, and we could chat and stuff. So, and I reached out to you, and we've been talking all this while. So I'm so glad that we are friends. We've connected.
Me too. I'm so proud of you and everything you're doing.
Yeah.
You can do it. We're going to learn all this together.
Yes.
So much. And I'm going to learn a lot from you. I've learned a couple things while doing this show.
Oh, thank you so much, Destiny, for coming on. Her product is Easter Eggsters. It's on Walmart.com. You can purchase it and be a blessing to her. So thank you so much for coming on. Thank you for listening. We pray that this has been a blessing to you, and we thank you so much. And remember, you can log on Facebook, The Voice of Truth Radio. We on Facebook. We also on YouTube. Search Jedediah Dwyer, and you listen to past radio programs, and you can subscribe to our YouTube channel. God bless you. Bye.
Thank you.
You've been listening to The Voice of Truth broadcast with Jedediah Dwyer. For information regarding the program, call 757-951-9251. or email vorm4jesus@yahoo.com. That's VORM, the number 4, Jesus@yahoo.com.
I will choose to